Alrighty.
All right. I'm going to start talking. Actually, yeah, I'm going to start talking. Guys, it's episode 10. It's a huge milestone. Yeah, that's 10 weeks in a row of the podcast. So, last week was a great week for me. If you didn't know, last Sunday was a very special day. Do you know what day that was, Cal?
Oh, jeez.
Do you know?
No. Was it your birthday?
No, it was not my birthday. My birthday was fucking...
Yeah, you're
a while
old,
ago.
bro. I forget how old you
I'm
are.
old, yeah. Yeah, it's sad. Anyway, no, it was the League of Legends World Championship.
No. Are you still
So,
on game, bro?
Okay, so yeah, I want to talk a little bit about it because it was cinema. This year was cinema. Because this year it was in China. And you know what that means for the time diff. So most of the tournament I wasn't really watching it live, obviously, because it's at terrible hours and I'm trying to sleep. But for finals, me and some of my friends were like, what if we stayed up to watch it? Because it's on like between Saturday and Sunday. And so at 1 a.m. on Sunday, I went over to my friend's house.
No.
And we were up until 6:30.
No. Did you nap before,
Yeah.
bro?
Not really. Well, a little bit.
Wow.
Anyway, it was
better have
cinema.
been good.
It was good. It was a close game. Faker took it in the end though.
Do you play League ever these days?
Definitely not during school, but low-key over the summer I was like a little bit back into it because I remember last time I played it like at all consistently before the summer was like during COVID with you.
I was so bad at League, though.
What do you?
I was horrible at League.
Well, League's a little like.
And I just
play
never put
a
any
lot.
time into it. I only played when we were with the group because I made a rule that I made a rule that was too sad to play League alone. So I just only played when the group was logging on. And then other people were putting in hours in silence, you know what I mean? Doing their time.
Right. Yeah.
And then I would just get fried.
Yeah. I mean, well, that wasn't really me. That was some of the other people.
No,
putting in the hours.
yeah. You weren't sweating.
But I did definitely play more than you. But yeah, it's just one of those things where like you put in the time and like you do see like the results.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's pretty chill. But I was more just I just more just got into like the esport this year mainly. And I mean, I've been watching the finals for a while now, like most years. This year was just especially like it required a lot of dedication to go all the way through it.
That's crazy. Where in China was it?
I believe it was in Chengdu, or I think it was like each stage of the tournament was in like different areas, but the finals were in Chengdu.
Huh. It's kind of lit.
Yeah. No, it looked fire. Yeah, they had a bunch of like promo stuff with like the Great Wall and a lot of like Chinese coded imagery.
Yeah.
But then, cause we were talking about, or we're not talking about GeoGuessr. We just played GeoGuessr last episode. But then I was thinking about how over COVID, like we did play League, but we were much more into the Brawl. I don't know if you remember.
Brawl was good. Brawl was so good.
Brawlhalla.
Yeah, we were pretty on game in Brawlhalla, I would say.
We were not even that bad. You're like.
Yeah, we were decent. We were decent at the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still playing on my old computer back in the day too, That was, and I remember we would have like Wi-Fi issues when we were playing in duos unranked, and I'll be crashing out. And then I remember I just got so mad at the game with like the large weapons, like the
Oh my, the great sword.
the great sword, and then the
And the
one that they
axe.
ride, the axe,
Oh, the
the
lance.
lance, bro,
The lance,
Hey,
dude.
the lance, man. Those were dark hours. It's once we
was
just
that one
started
guy?
running into shutdowns. Oh, there's so many bad ones, bro. And I swear it would be like once we got to like whatever it was. I don't know what rank would that be. Like plat? Were we plat? I don't know.
I think so. I don't know.
Once we got like plat or whatever it was, we would just play like only Lance players. And it would just be like every game, and we just get whooped by like Cassidy. And you're like, no, not another Cassidy. But
I think it's just because like you get to like that sort of like mid high tier or like mid tier where like everyone who's playing is playing to win,
right,
and so they're just playing meta.
yeah.
And
At the time, that
we were
was
not
meta.
playing meta.
Yeah, we were playing.
Yeah.
We were playing for the skill, for the finesse.
At least meta for the lower tiers, definitely. Like we weren't like cracked enough to get around it,
Yeah, exactly.
basically.
So yeah, no, we eventually we were pretty like. I remember we just stalled out. Like we would win a few games, then lose a few games. But low key, I would hop back on at some stage. That'd be fun. It gave me
I'd be down.
it gave me some basis in like nowadays, because I was never a Nintendo player for anything. But then
Oh.
nowadays people will be like, "Oh, you want to play Super Smash?" Yeah. On Switch, and like, I'm not gonna go out and say I'm good. Definitely not good, but I think it translates a little bit. Like every time I play, or like the first time I played, I get like the, dang, this is your first time playing. Like you seem to like get used to getting back onto the stage and like things like that. I'm like, all right,
Right.
I got D back. I've been in my first rodeo in the brawl style games.
Who do you main?
No, I don't play consistently enough to main. I just random character every time I play Smash.
I see.
But like, I'm functional. Like I'm not first one out every game. Even if I'm
good.
playing with like people who have been playing.
I am not very good at Smash. I cannot play Smash.
But
The
it's,
movement is way too like
yeah,
quick.
and Smash is
Yeah.
infuriating because it's just like so much variability, and like that's what's so nice about Brawl is that it's like everything's standardized to some degree. So then it's like, all the light attacks are the same. Like everything
Right,
feels
yeah.
like more snappy and more like, it feels more like methodical. Like Smash feels more to me just hit some button. Like I know it's not at the good levels, but it's like it feels like people are just like hitting buttons and like whatever. Like Brawl feels more like chaining attacks and like being strategic, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more like beginner friendly for Brawl and like getting combos and learning different stuff like that. Whereas Smash is, yeah, I'm definitely smashing buttons, but I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I remember playing Brawl in AP US History, A Push. I would play offline.
Oh.
I would just go in training mode, and I would just brawl and just practice scythe combos. Those are the good old days. And then I didn't do well in the A Push exam, but it's whatever.
Yeah, has it impacted your life in any way? To be bad on A Push?
Horribly, bro. Horribly. It's affected me at every step of my
journey. It's
journey.
been a fall off ever since then.
Yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah.
but those were our COVID times were good. I honestly well, I will say what COVID was not good for, I think, is my attention span. I feel like that was the beginning of the end for my attention span.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, because we transitioned from COVID into short form content. Horrible transition.
Pretty much.
Horrible transition for your attention span. But other than that, it was like, I think it was a really fun time. Like I feel like I got a lot closer with like a lot of the people in our friend group. just from like being able to spend so much time talking to them throughout the day. So
Much more than otherwise with some of them.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
No, exactly. Because some of them it's like, you know, maybe I had like one class with them usually. And then now it's like all of a sudden we're just like 4 hours a day on some like online server chatting.
Dude, 4 hours is like, I think that was like kind of like a light day. Like
No,
it was genuinely just
honestly, it was all
day.
day. It was all day. I would like go for my run, and that's it. Other than that, I would just be at my computer, doing something. And like homework at the time was pretty chill, in that era. So it was like, there was.
But the homework was done while talking too. So like
Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
you know?
Oh, facts. We
Yeah.
did all our homework on the calls too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, I just saw like my parents just progressively just not care because before COVID, it was definitely a thing of where like you have limited time on the game.
Right.
But
Right, but
once
there's
COVID
only so
starts,
much you can say once you're trapped in your house all day.
yeah, like what were we supposed to do? I mean, obviously there were more productive things that we could have done. Like 100%. But realistically, what are you gonna do? Doing what everyone else is doing. And that was just playing games.
No, I know. It's fair. And it's funny though, I will say, like, since being in college, I feel like I'll like meet other people who are like,
Oh yeah, what'd
oh,
you
yeah,
do?
in COVID, I was doing like this research or something. Like, hey, yo, not me.
Yo, look at my Minecraft hours.
But that, I feel like
My Terraria hours.
it is like so different. Like these kids from these like sweaty private schools or just like sweaty regions, like, you know, kids from like big cities, all the big cities, you know, produce like sweaty kids a lot of the time, or like the Bay Area is like so sweaty. And like that just wasn't a thing for us, you know what I mean? Like we were the sweats, and we weren't all that tapped in.
Yeah, definitely locked in on like schoolwork, our active schoolwork, but I don't.
Yeah.
We were never really pushed or expected to do.
Yeah, anything
Much more
outside
than
of
that.
school was like not at all a norm. It was just like as long
Yeah,
as you were getting good
I-
grades, it was like that's your only responsibility.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was.
Although I will say I
Yeah.
learned Norwegian during this time, which was a good application of my time.
No, yeah, I don't think it was all unproductive and stuff. It was just a lot of, and even the games, honestly, a lot of it was. I don't even know if I would say that it was an unproductive time. Like I guess it depends on what sort of perspective you're looking at it with, but
No, I agree.
it was a great time. And I think a lot of people sort of got that when they were younger, and I never got that where it was like playing games all the time with friends, and I never was able to do that because my parents were just pretty strict about it. But
Yeah, no, I agree. I think for me, I didn't have like as much of that when I was younger. Like I mean, I honestly I was like more locked in. Like my free time, I spent all my free time like reading, and like which like I don't regret at all. It was super fun and like I think helped me academically, but it was like productive, like not like the typical
yeah,
like whatever, play video games with your friends. And so I feel like having that in COVID was fun. And it's just like, you know, it's just a social thing to do. It's not like it's not like we were like playing video games by ourselves in isolation the whole time. Like we literally were like, you know, socializing with our friends all day, which I feel like is like fair enough. And then once COVID ended, we did things with those same friends in person. It's not like we just like kept playing video games. So I feel like it was productive.
it was productive. It was all worth it in the end.
Well, look at us
The
now.
funniest.
Look
Yeah,
at us
it's
now.
true.
Senior
Although
year,
I don't know if
and we still online on our Discord recording this.
that's true. Although the Discord's died now, but it was pretty active.
Yeah, no. But I mean just me and you at this stage.
Oh, yeah,
But-
yeah. Yeah.
I feel like the roots of that are in this era, are in the COVID era.
No, definitely. And it was funny thinking about the Discord being active because there's that one. I mean, everyone in like the world had this where Among Us was just huge. And I just remember having not random people, but people that I would not have expected to join the Discord just be invited and join to try to play Among Us. And there
Oh
was a
yeah,
good,
we
like,
were
week or
bringing
two.
everybody in, bro. Like people were
We were
just
bringing
phoning
everyone
friends.
in. Oh my god. You
We
could
had
not
to-
find a lobby, bro. They were full. We were filling lobbies up.
Yeah, no. Wow, I really forgot about Among Us too. That was a huge thing for a while.
No, it was definitely for a couple weeks, and honestly for like a month or two.
Wow.
It was crazy.
I tried to play Among
Yeah.
Us like I don't know, a year and a half ago or something. And I tried to join on Mac because at the time I was playing on an Intel computer, and
Right.
on Mac you genuinely can't play the game. Like genuinely, you can't WASD, you can't arrow key. There's a joystick on the screen that you have to drag with your mouse.
Weird.
It's the worst, most unplayable thing I've ever witnessed. And like, if you want to interact, like, you know, to like jump an event or something, you can't, like, whatever. I don't know what key that was back in the day, but you have to
Right.
press a button on the screen. So you have to like let go of the joystick, press the thing on the screen. It's like completely unplayable. But yeah, that was my only exposure to Among Us in recent history.
There's still this moment that lives rent free in my brain, where, we went in some like public lobby, and it was, I don't know if you know what I'm gonna say right now, but, I forget how many of us there were, but there were a good like 5 or 6 of us in the voice call. But there's this other guy like on our team. I think everyone was crew members, and his name was like Soli or something.
Oh my gosh, I remember this now.
Wait, I forget what exactly happened, but
All I remember
think
is
he
Church of Soli. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I remember we
He
made it a big
died.
deal after. I think he just died.
It
I
was-
think that
it was cinema.
yeah. But I do remember that was impactful for us. We referenced him a lot
was-
after that.
Impactful moment. Yeah.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah. But it wasn't always like that, but the Among Us was definitely like a peak of sorts.
Yeah, no, I liked Among Us. Our different eras. We had Minecraft for a bit. We had the huge server on Minecraft.
Well, Minecraft was a while, I think.
Yeah, that was a long one. I mean, that was a huge server, and like by the end, it was like insane. And then we had, I don't know what was after that. I guess Among Us maybe, and then me and you played Terraria together for a while, which was lit. I mean, we've now played through Terraria twice. Wait, did we ever finish
we did, we
our
did.
recent one? We did, right?
We finished the recent one because we were like, wait, did we finish that one? And then we
Yeah, and we went
actually
back
we did
and
not. We
finished
didn't
it.
finish it.
Yeah.
I just scrolled up through the screenshots and I found screenshots of the server.
Of the Terraria server,
Yeah.
the first one or the second one?
Or not Terraria, Minecraft.
Oh, the Minecraft server. Yeah, no, we never like, we didn't know when it was ending officially. So we never like went through as if we were ending, you know what I mean? And then we, wait, I think this is mine.
Yeah, that one's yours.
The top one is mine.
Yeah.
And then the bottom, wow, it is tough. The portal's tough. And that was Matt's crib up there.
Yeah, I didn't take that many pictures because obviously I didn't think we were done.
No, exactly. That's what happened. Like, we never documented it because we didn't think we were done. And then the server their realm just got ended. So I never got to,
Yeah.
like, take pictures of my crib and things.
It's tragic, but it's also kind of like, it's one of those things where it gets lost of time and all you can do is really like.
Maybe in a year,
I still
I'll
remember.
I'll have to get it. We'll have to get like pay for the server to log back in for a sec.
Yeah, I still remember like what stuff looked like. So it's not,
Yeah,
it's up there
no, same.
in the dome.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of funny, but no, yeah, it was.
I was into it for a while.
Time. No, 100%. Thanks to Hermitcraft.
Yeah, exactly. Hermitcraft was. Dang, whose was this last one? Oh, I think that was OB maybe.
This big thing was, like a
joint project.
I think me and OB did actually finish this.
Oh, okay.
We completed this thing, but I think it started as a community build. I think you also did it too.
Oh yeah, maybe I did participate on that.
But mainly me and OB finished it because we were the last ones to really play.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, my main crib was over on the sand and the ocean underwater with like the glass outside and then the villager trading center in there.
Yeah.
That was my career.
Dude, bro spent so long on it. I've never seen a man spend more time on anything.
It was tough though, bro. I had every enchantment for free. It was nice.
Yeah, the villager thing was your obsession.
But yeah, no, it was fun and it was like, it was just something creative.
I found a picture of it.
Oh, the villager thing?
No, not the villager thing, but of your crib from like the top, which is like the least flattering angle.
Oh, word, yeah, that is my crib.
But yeah, bro had to like, it was underwater, so bro had to sponge it.
Yeah, it took forever. I think I did the sand. I just dropped sand in and then I.
Yeah, probably.
Huh. Oh yeah, and that's an iron farm in the back, and then some other farm beneath that. It was super sweaty.
Too many farms, bro.
Oh, as I'm saying this, I'm looking on Discord and I see MC Will on the Minecraft.
Yeah. He is playing Minecraft.
But yeah, no, I feel like that was the best. That was one of the better. I mean, they were all good time uses, honestly. I like they were luckily I think we played mostly games that had like what I think is cool about these games is they're like world building, you know what I mean? So like there's things to track for your progress. Whereas like if you play like Fortnite or something, it's just like, you play game after game and you return to the lobby every time. There's like a lot less to show for your time. But like if you just walk through the server, you can like see all the time we put in.
Just Fortnite, cool. we were early on. We were early on.
Yeah, yeah, 7th grade, and then which is really ridiculous. Like, how old are you in 7th grade? Like, you're probably 12.
Think about it.
12 or 13. Like literally half of my life ago, almost. Is when we were doing that, which seems like absolutely insane. Yeah. No, it is so like, it's so true that your life, have you ever seen like the graphics where it shows like your concept or like your perception of time in your life and how like it gradually like, your concept of how long a year spans mentally just like shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, probably relative to your lifespan, just from like a, every year, like 1 year takes up a smaller fraction of your total experience. But it's so true. Like the last 4 years of college,
jeez,
it feels so short compared to like all these other times. Right? Yeah, like high school seems so long, I feel like, and then college has felt so quick. Like when I look back, it's so easy to remember like first showing up on campus, like whatever, and I see like
Yeah.
new kids show up, and I'm like, oh, like I remember when that was me, like so recently. But then like I imagine I simultaneously remember showing up, and like looking to my senior teammates and being like, dang, those dudes are old, and like that's what everyone
Right.
thinks when they look at me, which is insane.
Bro's unk.
Yeah, for real. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that is such an interesting thing because it's super accurate in my own life. Like as time has gone on, like years just take up so much less of my like mental space. They just seem to go by.
Yeah, definitely. And you just like are doing a little more, I guess. There's a little bit more going on in your life, so it's less time to really like lock in on one thing.
Yeah, it's fair. It's such an interesting like paradox where the busier you are, it feels like in the very short term, things seem to spend more time, but in the long term, they seem to spend less time. Like, you know, when you're like the worst week ever, Friday, when it's Monday, feels so far away. But then when you look back after Friday, you're like, dang, it feels like it was Monday yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's always sort of been a version of that where stuff has, it definitely just feels longer or shorter depending on like what it is when you look back on it. But definitely trending towards the every year is getting shorter.
Yeah. I saw this thing the other day, which is like slightly tangentially related to this. But it was this thing, it was like some dude doing something outside and it was raining. He was like on a hike maybe. And it was raining and like presumably he was freezing and whatever. And he was like, can't wait until my brain rewires this to be the most fun thing I've ever done. And it's so true. Like, especially with the outdoor things. I feel like that's so true. Like, I've had so many experiences where, like, you know, at the time, you're, like, tired, it's cold, you just are trying to get there. And then a week later, when you're looking back on the trip, you just perceive it as so fun.
Isn't that like a type 2 thing?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
I forget what I don't know if it's type 2
Like
or
type
type
1, type
something.
2.
Yeah, one of the
Type
types. But yeah, I don't know. It is really a weird like mental thing where you do definitely shift your perception of things as time goes on. The same events. Like you can be genuinely fed up in a situation, like not having fun, and then when you look back on it, you're like, wow, that was so sick. I gotta run that back. And then it's like at that point, like, you know, how do you then decide which things were like actually fun? Like whether you were doing it whether it was fun at the time or whether it was like more fun in retrospect and rewarding. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of things like that. Or I guess just as you look back on certain things, you just appreciate you appreciate different things about it than if you were actually doing it, because especially with hiking and stuff, you have to in the moment you have to deal with, your legs tired, you're hungry, it's cold or it's hot,
Right.
There's so many things that can be uncomfortable and not ideal, but when you look back on it, you're like, dang, like that view though. And
The
also
view was tough.
the view, the Strava,
The view is so tough. The Strava map is sick, bro.
the
Like,
Strava's fire.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a guiding thing in a lot of my experiences. Because I
Do
feel
you
like
seek that out or?
yeah, like I'm a big whatever type 2 fun person, where a lot of things kind of are maybe stressful at the time, but like it's tough because a lot of the time I am having a ton of fun when I do them too. But like sometimes I get fed up, but then every time I look back, it's like, wow, that was so sick. But it is an interesting thing because then you contrast that with things that I feel like I'm not like as excited about, like in actuality, and there's still some sort of hindsight bias where, for example, if I look back on like my hardest quarters of school, it's like I look back, I'm like, okay, maybe it wasn't that bad, but like I certainly feel like it wasn't as bad as at the time I felt like it was. But simultaneously, I definitely don't have the same shift to like, that was sick, that was fun, I want to run that back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The quarter.
So I wonder if that's like an indication of some form of lack of interest. Maybe. But
I mean,
I don't know.
It must be, because I mean, we spent like the first 10, 20 minutes talking about how awesome COVID was, but there were definitely moments during COVID where this is miserable. Like, please let me go back to school, or please let me see my friends, or
Right.
let's get the
Well,
let's get the in-person activities back.
Right.
Uh,
No, exactly.
But then when we
But
look
then in
back on it-
hindsight, we like it. And
yeah,
it's like,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It almost feels
I don't
like
know.
it's an interesting debate of whether it's, do you actually enjoy the things that you enjoy in hindsight, or do you enjoy the things that you enjoy at the time? Or are those low key the same? You know what I mean? Where it's like, you also enjoy the things that you enjoy in hindsight, you probably enjoyed at the time more as well. I don't know. But maybe
Right.
I'm curious if there's some example where you enjoyed it more at the time, but in hindsight less. But I can't really think of it
It's
off the
hard
top
to
of my head.
say. I feel. Yeah, I think like you said though. I mean, not exactly what you said, but you said that like stuff's guided by type 2 fun, and sort of like looking for those things that you're gonna look back on and like and be glad you did or be happy you did. I think that's a good. I think it's a good way to live. I mean, it's nice to enjoy your life as well, and I think ideally you get both, but
Yeah, I think it's somewhat like the who are the guys on YouTube? Yes Theory. You know those guys?
yeah,
Their
I've heard of
slogan
them.
is like seek discomfort. And I feel like it's honestly maybe less about discomfort, but more about, well, no, I do think to some degree it's kind of like stress. I hate stress, but an entirely stress-free life is probably not desirable. Like I think I would probably seek out stress in an entirely stress-free life. I think that like people typically err too much on the side of that. So, people seek out too much stress to the point where they bury themselves, and then it's not productive at that point. You need to have some form of valuable balance there. But I do think that as humans, like some form of enjoyment kind of comes through the type 2 fun, the adversity, the discomfort. Like that just makes it more rewarding. But this is something that I like highly debate, because a lot of people, I think, like I said, take it too far in the other direction, and then they try and justify things by being like, well, I need to like me burying myself now is gonna make
Right.
me feel better about it in the future. And it's like, maybe, but you have to be cautious, because if you go too far, then you ruined it, and then maybe you don't look back on it as fun, and you weren't having fun at the time. Like, you do have to strike some form of balance there.
Yeah, I mean, I think with that kind of stuff, it's more just to try not to lose sight of what you like in the moment, and I think as long as you do that, and you're stressed, and you're on top of those things, you're doing what can get you to where you want to be in the future. That's good, but yeah, I definitely am super against the idea of, oh, I just need to like kill myself or you know, give myself up to a big company and work, you know, 100-hour weeks, 80-hour week, or you know, just that kind of stuff is not gonna be something you look back on and be like, wow, I'm glad I did that because now I'm in a more financially stable position. Like, I don't know, maybe you would, but maybe you would.
No, I know it is tricky, you know, because I feel like me personally, you know, I think the hard thing is that it's really just difficult to see things from other people's perspectives, where it's like the conclusion that I've come to is that in my own life, you know, if I worked 100 hours per week on anything, I think I would, well, okay, there's one caveat here. Like, if it took 100 hours a week of like, or like maybe 100 is a stretch, but like, we'll use like, you know, when someone's like sweating out like a IB job, maybe they're working 70 or 80 hours or something. Like, that's a reasonable, like,
Right.
high end thing. And it's like, you know, what I like to do the most is outdoor things. And so if it did take 70 hours a week of being outside and doing exercise and things, then honestly, I think I would do it, and I don't think I would regret it. This comes with the caveat that like you'd have to not get injured, but ignoring that fact. And so then it's like, you know, I think for me that then like births some. I look at other people and I'm like, well, it's not the same though, because like investment banking isn't the same as going outside for a run, which it's not. But simultaneously, I do feel like there's some population that like, I don't know. I think that different people have different balances they seek of fulfillment versus happiness, and
Right.
I have like a pretty equal balance of both, maybe even, you know, pretty high on the happiness side of things.
Yeah.
So like my like short-term happiness is pretty important to me. I feel like because like if I'm in a position where I don't have a lot of short-term happiness, I just like I don't know, it just like really gets to me. But other people like almost exclusively seek out the fulfillment side of things, which is just like a little hard to conceptualize for me. But I do think there is some population where it's like the more important thing is just being fulfilled in the long run, and so they're willing to like have miserable times if it means that they feel like they accomplished something large in the long run.
Although I do think just the kinds of, I think I do agree that people have pursue different balances, but I also think that for those people who maybe, you know, we might view them as being more locked in on long-term fulfillment and sort of stability and you know, making a good life for their future kids and all that stuff. I also think they just have different ways that like short-term happiness, whether that be really expensive dinners or you know, getting coffee out every day or taking Ubers everywhere. I mean, those are luxuries those are luxuries everywhere that a lot of people enjoy, you know?
Right.
And you know, going clubbing, it's expensive to go clubbing.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that it's expensive to do, and it's not, you know, you can simultaneously chase sort of that like fully fulfilled, you know, expensive lifestyle while living the sort of short-term happiness lifestyle, and they're definitely kind of the same thing. And if you were just pursuing fulfillment, you definitely would not have to do the crazy like IB type stuff that a lot of people do, because you can, I mean, not that it's easy to get by, but you can get by with a lot less than that.
Right. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like yeah. For me, it's personally quite difficult to imagine a world where I make the decision to put myself in the position that those people do. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like being in an environment like these competitive environments of the elite schools, I just see how many people make
Right.
that choice. And then it feels like, in my head, it seems like, oh, okay, like they're just not like I don't know, from my perspective, it feels like it doesn't seem like the right decision. It feels like they're making themselves miserable in some ways. But then it's like, if there's so many people making that decision, it can't be that they're all doing it because of some sort of like neglect of, some major lapse in judgment. Like, I think these people are getting a lot of some form of reward that they desire from it. It's just that I don't have that same desire system, I suppose. But I also think it's because in my case, I have something that like I really want to do that's not that.
Yeah.
Where I think if I didn't have that, I don't know what I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the sample size or the sample population, I guess, is just it's not very representative of most people, I think.
Right.
So that definitely contributes to. I mean, that definitely contributes to like my feelings of how I view my own life and what I want out of life. It does feel sometimes that you're the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the other tricky thing for me with regard to these decisions is that, like, in isolation, like, if I was just seeking out the best path for me in the next 5 years to maximize my happiness, then I think that there's actually a wider range of options. Because it's not all that difficult to support yourself, but the more difficult thing is to like set yourself up for later, right? Like in the short term, supporting yourself isn't all that much. Like it's you still gotta work hard or find something semi lucrative, but it's not all that difficult. But the more difficult thing is setting up to have a family and these things, which does impact my decisions in the next like 5 years. You know what I mean? Like that does work into the balance, definitely, where I can't like fully err on the side of just doing things that I want to do. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say, but like it's in the equation for sure, where in an ideal world, you can just do what you love and that works out. But, you also maybe in a real world have to do what you love in an intelligent enough way, in a thorough, planned enough way, or like incorporate what you love into your life enough that you can still get the happiness while also setting yourself up for things that you want later.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely tough, but at some point you kind of just got to decide what you want, and you're gonna give up other things while you do that.
Right.
So, for me, it's like kind of the same as most people would think. Is I just value like my time, and just having free time, or not
Right.
even free time, but just being a little more flexible with my time.
Definitely.
And getting to decide certain things. And obviously everyone would love that. Like that's sort of the goal for a lot of people. And most people have to give that up to do their job, because most companies work the same times every day, 5 days a week. sometimes on the weekends as well, a little bit, and that's just kind of how it is, and that's why I think I've kind of been liking being a student, because being a student is you do get a little more control over your time. So
No, 100%. And you know what actually this conversation reminds me of is that, so last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I was invited to this thing, the Scandinavian Society here. It was like, there was some company visiting from Sweden, or not a company, they like work. It's like researchers kind of at this research park in northern Sweden, who were trying to bring attract talent to northern Sweden, which northern Sweden is pretty uninhabited to some degree.
Right.
Like, all small towns, no major cities really. And so they came here, and I'm in this room, and it's like 8 Swedish kids at Stanford, 1 Danish guy, me, a few of the people from the research park, and then this like guy who was like a middleman who worked for like, it's called like Innovation Sweden or something that like connects companies in the Bay with Swedish companies, or like helps Swedish companies adapt to the Bay, something along those lines. And they were basically just like looking for ideas from the Stanford students and like their perspectives on going back to Sweden, and their perspectives on work in Sweden versus the US. And I was the only person who was not from Scandinavia in the room.
right.
And I found that, interestingly enough, I was the only person. They go around the room and they're like, how many people are interested in working in Sweden immediately after college? And every single person said no. They all said they wanted to be in the US short term and maybe go back to Sweden afterwards, but short term in the US. And I was like, I would go to Scandinavia right after college. Like, I'm interested. And I was the only person who wanted to do that. And their reasons were in many ways the same things that like people are striving to like Scandinavia has a very good work culture, and they like worked hard for their work culture, if you will. People pushed for workers' rights and like vacation time and reasonable hours for a long time so that these companies could have better work-life balances. And yet that's almost exactly the complaint of the Swedes that have come to the US, is that the Scandinavian countries have become complacent. So like, especially Norway, for example, my friend from Norway always talks about this. He's like, people in Norway are just fat and happy. And so they don't want to like go work. They're like, the new 9 to 5 is, what was they saying? They said, or the new 9 to 5 was like, it was like 9 to 6, 6 days a week or something. 9 to 7, something.
Yeah.
7 to 9, 6 days a week, something ridiculous. That was like, significantly more hours than a traditional 9 to 5. And they're like, that's the new wave. Like, that's what we got to get on. Like, we got to be working harder. We got to be innovating. We got to be like caring about like creating things and caring about like being a force. And, from an outside perspective, like, I'm interested in going to these countries because they have set up this system where you don't have to work as much and you still get paid good money because they're fortunately like wealthy countries. And so they just have a surplus of money where everything's paid for by the state, healthcare, good public transit, like et cetera, and you don't have to worry about doing all that. But all those people who have been raised in that environment want to switch to then come to this environment. And with a grain of salt, like my Norwegian friends who didn't come to college in the US sometimes don't share that perspective. Like, they're more in line with the Norwegian perspective. These are obviously people who came to Stanford from Norway and Sweden, which translates to
Right.
they're extremely wealthy and they have always been geared towards a more like professional scene. They're from the capital cities of Sweden or Norway or Denmark, and like, you know what I mean. So it's a very curated subsample, but I did just find it really interesting that like the same things that I like wanted to go to Norway for, they wanted to leave Norway for, at least temporarily, just because it's like, you know, that's what you're exposed to, and it was so fascinating to me that like such an enormous perspective shift could happen just based on your background. Like people just often seek what they're not used to, I think. Like grass is greener type of situation, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely true. Definitely.
And
People are definitely always on the grass is greener.
yeah, I mean, they would be like, it was just crazy to me. It's like, you know, people fought for so long to like set up those like desirable work environments, and then it was just like they're like, we need to bring maybe I won't try to do the accent, but they were like, we need to bring Silicon Valley to Sweden. And I'm like, no, like that's the whole point, that it's not like Silicon Valley, you know what I mean? Like that was the whole strength. That's what people fought for, was so that it wouldn't be the same. And yet you have a desire to like bring it back.
Right.
Which I don't know. Like my input to them, I was like, look, like I don't think that's gonna work. Like I don't think you're gonna attract talent by turning Scandinavia into another America, because it's never gonna be like as good as America at the thing that America's good at. Like you're never gonna have as big of companies. You're not gonna have as big of salaries. Like that's not the pull to go to Scandinavia. The pull to go to Scandinavia is like your desirable working conditions, and so like you can still have big projects and interesting things to work on, but I don't know. It feels so wasteful to it feels like very backwards to revert to the American way of thinking.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just that was such a fascinating thing to me that I was the only non-Scandinavian. I was the only person who was interested in going to Scandinavia after college. But with that said, they all want to retire in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
That's telling. Yeah.
Which is then like a whole nother deal. I mean, I don't know. It's a long conversation.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
But yeah, they said that they were like, people from Asia actually seem to quite like you here, like East Asia. Like they're like we actually recently got some Koreans and some Japanese people in our research park, and they've been really loving the work environment.
Sure.
And I was like, they were like, yeah, the nature is beautiful, the work is good. And I was like, yeah, bro, like I can imagine.
That makes sense to me.
But yeah, no, I don't know. It just seems crazy to me, because to me it's so desirable to have like that be the style of work, where it's just like, you know, you do your 40 hours, like you don't get no one looks down on you for not doing you know, extreme overtime or anything. Like that's just your expectation. You do what's expected of you. You care about your work. And that's that. And that's your job, and you get to do other things outside of work that you care about. And whatever. To me, that seems like a desirable lifestyle.
Yeah, I agree. And to end, there's this one Instagram video that keeps popping up on my feed, and it's like these Italian factory owners. Have you seen this one?
No, I haven't.
And there's like an American reporter who's talking with them, and he's asking them questions about how they run the factory, and I forget what exactly he was surprised about, but you know, they gave a lot of vacation. The pay was like not that bad, and like the hours that they had to work were not crazy. And there's a one part in the clip where it's like, and then all the factory workers go home to enjoy a 2-hour lunch. And it's like, okay.
That is
But it's funny because the reporter keeps being like, you guys can make so much more money if you did it like we do. They're like, okay.
No,
care.
exactly. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, that seems like a. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I'm making enough money, then I don't see the need to make any more. But I don't know. That's quite not American of me, I suppose.
It's not very American of you, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I have two things. I saw an Instagram post recently that was about Italians too. It was like in Japan, it was something about like Japan working. And it's like in Japan, if your boss doesn't like you, and I don't know how accurate this is. It's like in Japan, if your boss doesn't like you, then he'll just stop like assigning you tasks. And the social pressure of not contributing to your company any much will force you to quit because they don't want to fire you. They want you to quit, I guess. I don't know how accurate that is. And it was like a comment on the thing, and it was like, we could send a bunch of Italians to Japan and they'd ruin their whole economy. Because like if they just stopped getting tasks, they would just be like, oh word, no tasks. But yeah, similarly, I also had an Italian teammate, and I was telling him that the work environment in Japan was like very difficult relative to the US. And he was like, what? Like, for us in Italy, like if you work for an international company, because it's likely American, like that means you probably have much harder work. Whereas like if you go to Japan, if you work for an international company, you might have much easier work because it's not a domestic company.
Right.
So there are just levels to the game.
No, there's definitely levels to the game, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know, it's fascinating to me. But you might have to catch me in Scandinavia. It seems like the place to be, in my opinion.
But yeah, I think this is where the podcast just turns into yap sesh. You know?
Yeah, it's genuinely just like a conversation that I have semi regularly.
Genuinely just us talking. There wasn't, yeah. Cal asked before I started the episode, like, dude, you got a topic? And I kind of had a topic. I wanted to talk about the COVID thing a little bit, but
yeah, we somehow pivoted from COVID Minecraft to ideal work conditions.
Yeah, we did. And if you agree about our opinions on work, subscribe, because a lot of our opinions are kind of like that. I think if you agree with us on certain things, you'll probably agree with us on most things, because I think we're kind of in a certain niche where, we just look at things a certain way.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you disagree, then drop your disagreements in the comments.
Give us engagement, please.
Yeah. I'll debate you in the comments.
He'll go in. Yeah, it'll just be him. I won't say anything. So.
No, I'm doing it on the.
If we're replying to you, it's him.
I'm doing it on the company thing, and I'm signing off Nico on all my things.
On everything, yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. See ya.
See ya.